cancelling this.
Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. So this video starts with a few clips from our trip to IKEA. I quite like wandering around IKEA when we got a few bits, but my daughter actually was really keen to go to see if there were any ideas for her bedroom. Bedroom sort of layout and design and flooring, etc, etc. So we had a little look round, which was nice, as well as some really good ideas for like our TV storage or shoe storage. Of course, IKEA have piles and piles of cuddly toys. You can guess what my daughter spent some time looking at. Actually, they have got some really nice ones, but you'll be pleased to know we didn't get any. You'll have to spot the different things around the house that we bought because I failed to take a photograph of the haul. But it includes a nice new mat for the door. So I'm pleased about that. A basket which is going to go in her room, which is for when the washing goes up to her room rather than just sitting in a pile. It's going to go in the basket that we've got her. A basket for the stairs. I don't know where my other basket for the stairs went, but that was quite small and didn't really work. So we've got a new basket for the stairs. So we put bits and pieces in there. I got some frames for all of her certificates. So she's got violin, viola, flute and dance certificates, which haven't been framed. So I got some really nice frames. So you'll spot those items around the house sort of in the coming weeks, I expect. So we have had a busy few days. So, you know, my daughter had her birthday and we had a lovely family party. Then on the Saturday, which is the day after her birthday, she did really want to kind of be sitting and looking through her books and her craft things. She really wanted to get out her wax melt set. But my husband had organised to go and look at a car, and that was, to be honest, that was the best day of all the dates. So we were up not too early, so it wasn't too bad, but we travelled all the way to Nottingham. Test drove the car. Got a couple of warnings coming up, which I thought was not great to test drive a car, but we ended up buying it. I don't know how anyone else has recently bought a car in the United Kingdom, a second-hand car, but my goodness, the prices are ridiculous. They went up in COVID and they've just stayed there. I guess because people, you know, what people keep on paying them, people keep on paying that amount of money, they're going to keep selling at that amount of money. But then also because they can see what cars are for sale across the whole country, they don't shift on price at all. Although my husband, I did remind him, a salesman is never your friend. But he had told the salesman that there were only 2 cars like this in the whole of the country. So the salesman, I think, used that to his advantage. So I then drove back from Nottingham in my little Fiat 500. My daughter opted to drive back with me. And that was quite a good drive, really. I'm not used to driving long distances, but that was good going. That was fine. And then on the Sunday, we were up early because it was my daughter's day out with her friend from her old school that she's kept in touch with, to Colchester Zoo. We had a really, really nice day. Then Monday we were busy doing lots of jobs up the city, and my daughter spent her vouchers that she got for her birthday, and she also saved quite a lot of her money in her savings account, her birthday money. And then yesterday we were at Great Yarmouth. So right at the very end you'll see a few little clips and some bits and pieces that we've been up to. But you will see on this video I've been very busy the rest of the house and not in the kitchen. So the kitchen has got quite bad, it's got quite messy, it's got quite untidy. I'm behind with the washing. Also, I did 2 loads of washing, and I don't know what it is with my washing machine. You know, I think if you leave the washing in the washing machine a couple of days, you know, that mouldy, damp, horrible smell. Well, I think the washing machine has started smelling like that because I'd left the washing in there one time. So now, even if I take the washing out straight away, it smells like that. So I probably need to try it on a vinegar wash again and see if I can get rid of that smell. But you'll see what I'm going to try to do since her birthday is just try to keep on top of things. Easier said than done, but that is my aspiration. My father-in-law very kindly on Friday brought round lots of vegetables from his garden. beans, cauliflower, broccoli and apples. But he never mentioned, and I didn't think to check, whether there would be any bugs or anything on them. And when I went to the cauliflower, if you're squeamish or you don't like insects, please mute at this point. The cauliflower was absolutely full of caterpillars, eggs and slugs. So it took me a long time to go through all of that. And then I picked some blackberries outside in the blackberry bush. So where I used to have privet, my next door neighbour decided that she wanted to put this blackberry bush in. It goes crazy, it goes mad, and it's got evil thorns, but I do pick blackberries a couple of times a year, and I thought, perfect. My father-in-law gave me those cooking apples, so my husband will make a nice crumble for my daughter, which she can have for breakfasts. She doesn't really like apple, but she does eat apple in a crumble and enjoys it. So I thought that would be quite a good idea to do that. You can see me in the kitchen putting salt on a few things. So I put salt on the cauliflower to get rid of the insects, and then I also tried it on the blackberries, which I've just reminded myself I drained the blackberries but then didn't wash them. So I hope the fruit is not going to taste very salty. That'd be awful. You're supposed to obviously wash the fruit afterwards. So the piles of the washing on the floor, yes, I vowed that I wouldn't do that, but it's getting into a bit of a muddle again. I've got washing on the line. The washing then got wet in the rain, and then I've got another load which needs to go on because it was all damp. So all that damp smell, that's the thing. I can't get rid of that damp smell, so I've put double loads of washing powder in. I'm taking it out quickly. So that's my hope. I also find the smell improves if I do a hot wash, like with all my whites. So the video you can see at the moment was actually Monday evening. It's funny because my daughter still asks for a rainbow dinner. So here we have rainbows, brownies and guides. And on Mondays, I used to always do something quick and easy because it was rainbows or brownies. So we'd been out all day in the city, walked a long way, and so she asked for a brownies dinner. I think she was a bit miffed though, because it did include some of Grandad's broccoli and some of Grandad's cauliflower. But she ate it all without complaint and without problems. So in the rest of the video, you'll see me doing some other sort of tidying and sorting round. I put all the things away from the party. So at the same time, I kind of try to get more in the cupboard. And you'll see me sweeping up and hoovering. And then right at the very end, you'll see a couple of clips of the historic and arty part of Great Yarmouth, which is often not realised, not understood, and not, what's the word? The council do not support that part of Yarmouth at all. They support a small part of Yarmouth, but not kind of, they could do so much more around business growth. Something I feel very passionate about, actually, because I do feel it's got great potential. So for those of you in the United Kingdom, if you do come to Great Yarmouth and walk along Regent Road and along the front, it's a very typical seaside resort, a little bit like Blackpool perhaps. But also there is the arty and the artistic and the historic part of Great Yarmouth, which is the part that I also love. And I'm now going to go through some of your comments. So first comment is from LV Frankie, who says, don't worry if things get messy again, it's just the way it happens. I won't even tell you how many videos I've watched in a row just in order to get my kitchen back in order. The focus can shift from one task to another. Fresh eyes are always great when decluttering. Next comment, hello, greetings from Finland. This is Nordic Finest. I just wanted to share a challenge. I learned a while back, 2 to 5 minute cleanup challenge. It could be FE TV ad break. One uses time for putting something away or collecting trash items to bin or clean a table. Whatever needs to be tidied. It could even be sorting out a drawer. My children are small, but we like to put a 5-minute timer before evening chores and compete against each other. Everyone has a task, and the quickest to complete wins a cookie or gets to choose the night story. Different prizes, sometimes a small wish kids have. We get to laugh a lot during this little time, and parents get a somewhat tidier home. Or so we hope. Ha ha. Of course, saying no, you could be firm and say, I can't do this now. The moment they see you are considering, they try more and more. WhatsApp messages are just rude. I would ignore them. Keep on the good job and take care. Well, thank you very much for your comment. It's a great idea, that is. Everybody in the house joining in and competing against each other. I really like that idea. As for the guiding request of me giving up my Monday evenings, I did reply back to say that I can't do the Monday Zoom call that they were having. So I then got another message, as I think I've mentioned, to say, what Mondays are you free on? And I just repeated the same message. At this stage, I cannot commit to Mondays. So I've not heard anything more about it. But can you believe I've had an email and a message on Messenger telling me that some of my training is out of date. It's not due until end of September, beginning of October. So I read the email and thought, okay, I'll do that. And then I've just had a message on Facebook Messenger saying, hi, Emma, I know you're busy. However, you do need to do your training by whatever date. And if you don't do it by this date, you then have to do, rather than a 20-minute refresher, you have to do a 3-hour training. It honestly has felt this holiday that they have just kept on at me for the whole holidays. And I just think it's about 6 weeks holiday of just having a rest, having a break. So not too happy about that. So Sharon Mummy said, hello Emma, I use a tray that I put things that don't belong on while I'm busy in the room I'm in. Then I can take the tray with me and distribute it around when I've finished and empty the tray. I was wondering, well, thinking an idea I have is your daughter's pigeonhole tall bookcase units. Could you empty it and use it behind the door for better storage and neat in that area? With the books, could you take off the baskets on the other unit that won't fit under the bed and just put the baskets under the bed freestanding, maybe only with keepsakes and things she and you want to save for her own children, etc. So the baskets are purely storage right under the bed. That will leave the unit without baskets that you can then put her books on instead. And would that make space for a little desk or dressing table? Oh, there's quite a few things there. So thank you for your thoughts and ideas. I like that idea. I think I'll struggle to get the bookcase behind the door because of the amount of space. I don't think that the hinge would allow it. I think it's about half the size of the bookcase. The other thing I was thinking about the tall bookcase is about when I've cleared out the playroom, do I move that into the playroom? And she can go in there to choose her books. That was what I was wondering. And then Sharon goes on to say, I'm with you on the blue sweets. As you know, I have a heart rhythm issue that I'm due to have a second procedure for on the 25th of September. Anything blue does in fact affect the heart tissue. So it just shows how awful it really is for us. Goodness me. I hope all goes well on the 25th. So this is a follow-up. Is it Sharon to what you've already had? And then Sharon then puts another note. Having just heard the other comment about getting the unit under the bed, that's a good idea. But with the bookcase behind the door, freeing space for her desk, could you make little bags, either with her old little bags or purses or gift bags, for guides, friends, or the sale that have hairbands and little sample toiletries in them? Would the old mosquito cream be useful to use as a leather restorer, as it's moisture based? Could you shine your shoes, bags, handbags, furniture, use it up and then get rid of the bottles in plastic recycling? I didn't even think about half of that. Oh my goodness. It's gone now, Sharon. You've given this a number of different things there. I never even thought about any of those. Now afterwards, what I thought about, and you'll probably there'll be probably another video where I mention this, but after I thought about it, I was worried about putting them in rubbish or putting them in the soil or anywhere, because I was thinking how damaging they would be for insects and wildlife. But then I remembered that the mosquitoes were all sitting on my arm when I had the repellent on. So it's not working anymore. So I was then able to tell myself that it was okay to put in the bin. Danny Riley says, if you sign up for the sleepover, though not expected to do it. I can see them finding a reason they need you and will have to cancel if you don't. Guilt tripping. You do so much for your current guide group, I can see them causing you to do double the work. Sometimes it's better to stick with your first no. If you do a couple of days, they will trap you into more. I think you're right. And Elsie Buttercup says, just say no. So, like I said, I have said no to the Monday evenings. I have signed up for the sleepover on the basis that I said to my daughter, if we are in England, would you like to do the sleepover? And she said yes. So on that basis, I am doing it. But if we're away, then I will tell them that I can't do it and then my name will be taken off. Sarah Mills says your daughter's room is looking really clean and tidy. Well done. And Carolyn says those guides people are a bit pushy. That would turn me off. Yeah, they can be. They really can be. Now, we'd been wondering where Andrea had been, hadn't we? Barbara and Andrea, I asked about them on a couple of my videos. Barbara, I just thought Barbara, I was worried that she was unwell. Andrea, I thought maybe she's just been very busy with her family. However, unfortunately, Andrea really hasn't been very well in herself. So all of us, if we could all send our best wishes to Andrea to sort of hope that she does feel better. She's written, "Hi Emma, I've been very down and depressed. No motivation for cleaning or decluttering. Our house is in shambles. Our oldest daughter started cleaning around the house because she's now taking college classes, so her schedule is much more open. That seemed to help me to be able to start cleaning again." Really sorry, Andrea, to hear that you've been feeling down. I know you've got a lot going on. Life's busy and, there's lots of different things that you've sort of shared, which, can affect the way that we feel. So I'm very sad that you've been feeling down and depressed. I know it becomes then overwhelming if you've then not been able to do stuff because you felt unwell, either mentally or physically, then it's really hard to get started again. So my advice would just be, try to be kind to yourself. The house, in comparison to your own mental health, doesn't matter, actually. The most important thing is you feeling well, but of course they do impact each other. If you look around the house and just feel as, complete mess, that's then going to affect your mental health more in turn. So I would just recommend you just try and do 10 minutes a day. Set yourself a timer, just try and do something, 10 minutes a day for a week. And then once you've achieved that, you've done a whole week, then the next week do 15 minutes and build up, build up, build up. So I do hope you start feeling yourself very soon. So next message is from Chaos Organised, who we haven't heard from for quite some time. And that's because Chaos Organised has been very busy on getting healthier. So she says, I've missed you as I've been on the fitness journey getting healthier. I pledged to walk and do exercise a couple of months ago, I think. My body is looking tidier and I've got rid of many pounds so far. Well done, that's fantastic. But we're off on holiday tomorrow, my son and I, and so I've been cleaning out the garage again. Can't go on holiday with clutter in there. Also clearing out another room, the room that doesn't get used much. It's all wardrobes, as having all the clothes from 3 of us in one room involves less sorting. But of course things get dumped in there. I took a lead from you and went through the children's schoolwork that was still around and could go. I kept creative pictures that were nice and little stories, but the maths practice went, that sort of thing. My husband has a collection of metal soldiers that he bought to collect and has never displayed or looked at since getting them. So I found a place to store them where they won't have to be moved around his office or the floor of the wardrobe's room. There was a huge storage area under a super king-size bed that wasn't being used, so now that contains a rug that cost £1,000 that we don't use at this time, 2 mannequins, photos of dead relatives, school art and the toy soldiers. It's tidier. A couple of bags of charity and a bunch of matter recycled. Thank you for being here on YouTube to chat away to us all while we are doing our de-stashing. You are always appreciated. What a lovely post. Thank you very, very much. You were missed, Chaos Organised. And she says, oh, P.S., my daughter has the same car as you. So lots of things to respond to there. So well done on the exercise and the getting healthier. I have decided that I too need another challenge. So I'm thinking about what challenge I might do. in relation to getting healthier. I weighed myself yesterday, just out of interest really, and I'm the heaviest that I've ever been. And obviously at this point, leading up before Christmas, not actually that I eat an excessive amount at Christmas. You know how some people, they eat sensibly the entire year and then they eat so much at Christmas. I've never done that, but what has shown me is that I must be, each week, each month, I must be putting on a tiny amount of weight. I also noticed that I usually give up like things for Lent, and obviously I did the Daniel fast right at the beginning of the year. And even though I cut out loads and loads of food and certain food groups, I didn't lose any weight at all, which again shows me that I must be very slowly putting weight on. Few things have changed. Obviously, I've done a lot of exercise in the holidays. We've done so much walking, but certainly with the school run, I was doing at her other school, I was doing 10 minutes to school, 10 minutes back in the morning, and then I was doing the same in the evening. So that was 40 minutes of quite fast walking. So I've stopped doing that. I just do a very short walk now with the new school, drive, and then do a very, very short walk. So that's a big difference. Also, what you're saying, Chaos Organised, what you're saying about all the stuff that you're sorting out in the room, that sounds like a really good idea, how you're going through all the cupboards and all the wardrobes and how you found new space for some of these bits and pieces. I had the same thing with my daughter's school books. Of course, there's some things which like really, really are special and they remind you of a certain time. But if it's loads of maths sums, I had piles and piles of books that I'd done at home, like during the holidays, to help work with my daughter and help her and so on. And I thought in the end, I'm keeping these to remember that time, but actually I don't need these books. I know all the things that we did together. So yeah, I need to think about a new challenge. I did download the app Noom, which I've used in the past. That's really good to help you look at your diet and log what you're eating. I've used it in the past and it is really good. But I filled it all in last night, filled my weight in, my height in, lots of different questions they ask you about yourself and your eating habits. And then I got to the end of it and it said it was, I think you could pay a one-off fee for the first 2 months. You could opt to pay like £1 a month for the first 2 months. But then after that, it was £59 a month. And I thought, oh, really? That's like quite a lot of money to tie into on something that really I should just be able to do myself. It's obviously all about, isn't it, what you eat and then how much exercise you do. So you probably saw me then just a moment ago looking through that pile, the grey box of all their cutlery. So when my daughter had her christening, we had about 70 people come back from the church to our house, and we opened up the back doors of the dining room, and then everyone went and stood outside and sat around, and we did buffet for everybody. So I needed like loads and loads of cutlery, and I won't give it away. Each year what we find is that a couple of forks go for it because they're all reusable, but a couple of forks break and they then go in the bin. And actually my father-in-law says the same thing every single year. Every single year he complains about using plastic cutlery. Every single year he treats the plastic cutlery like it's metal cutlery and he breaks one of the forks. And this year he started moaning on yet again about having plastic cutlery. So I said to him, you must be getting a bit forgetful because you say the same thing every single year. And of course everybody burst into laughter because he does. He said, oh, I know, but I can't bear plastic cutlery. But it's like everybody's outside in the garden. So do I really want to put my Wedgwood plates and my normal cutlery outside? Not really. And obviously as soon as something breaks, it just goes straight in the bin. It's not like I've given a broken fork to him. Anyway. So here you'll see me going through, basically that double cupboard is full of things for parties. So don't come out very often. But it's all and it's also my spare dining plates, dining set plates. So lots of things there. Also extra like ceramic dishes if I need to cook something that's a bit bigger. I store everything in there. So it is pretty much all party things. So I've got all and it only comes out really 3 times a year. My birthday, my husband's birthday, and my daughter's birthday. And you will witness me squashing a whole number of different things in there. And obviously if I cut down on that cutlery, I wouldn't need such a big container, would I? But then again, I just feel it's a bit silly to then each year, and a bit wasteful, me and my waste, to kind of, get loads, especially for a birthday, when, bin what I've got. I've also got some brand new sets there. I suppose that's one thing I could do, is I could take the brand new sets and store them in a different way, perhaps. You can also see all the things that I've piled up there. They're all things that sit down the side of the settee, and I know that some of you will be pulling your hair out at this point. The good news is I managed to get a few of the items into that cupboard. Some of my buttons, and also a camera. I do like to try to keep like with like, so what I might do is once I've sorted out my cupboard and the other side in a bit more detail, I'll move the buttons over because they're like more craft-like. My daughter was like, "You've got another container of buttons?" I've got loads of buttons, and I don't know. I bought them on Facebook Marketplace, and I've collected them, and I've bought them from places. Why? Just because at the time I liked buttons. I still like buttons. I don't do anything with them other than the fact of just having them. So maybe at some point I should go through them and try to either sell them or give them away to somebody else that likes buttons. Do I have any followers that like buttons, or am I just strange? I just like the feel of them, and I like the look of them. I like going through them. I like the fact that some of them are collectible, etc, etc. And then some of the plastic bags there are full of my craft things, which I need to use up. Got the piece of vintage fabric there that I need to put on. Somebody actually recommended this to me. They said, why don't you do vintage and then put the link in the description on your video? And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I might do that for different bits and pieces. Yeah, so to use some more items, get rid of some more items. So I was thinking about getting rid of that Tigger toy. And I do really like him, and I thought, no, I'm going to get rid of him. And then my daughter said, oh, I like him. Anyway, I'll just go through a few more comments. So next up, Zoe Brindle. So Zoe's written a lovely comment. She's put, so happy Mini Emma had a fun birthday. Well, I spent Saturday painting our metal gates, and Sunday helping my parents to pack as they're moving soon. So you are helping your parents declutter then, are you, Zoe? They're downsizing, so you can imagine the decluttering that's been happening there. Well done on the charity drop-off. Less is most definitely more. Sending love to you all. Oh, thanks for sharing what you've been up to. Painting metal gates is not an easy job, is it? Can be quite fiddly depending upon the style of the metal. Pam says, hi Emma, happy belated birthday to your daughter. My grandson will be 11 tomorrow. I can hardly believe it. Only seems like yesterday my daughter went back to work after having her 12 months off after having him. And me thinking, oh, I've got him to myself now for another 4 years. Then poof, he started school. So do you help with childcare then, Pam? Do you help in the holidays? Anyhow, sounds like your daughter and her friends had a great time. The kitchen, I find, is the room in my house that gets untidy the quickest. But then it's a room of tasks, isn't it? So I suppose it's to be expected. You're doing great in your declutter journey. It can't all be done in a day, so don't fret. Wonderful to see you as always. Oh, and thank you very, very, very much for your lovely comment. It's always so motivational. Joanne says, hi Emma, hello from New Jersey, suburbs of Philadelphia. Now, Joanne, my family are in New Jersey and we were in Philadelphia last year. So my uncle was born and bred in Philadelphia. He married my aunt who was born in England, and she actually went over to America just after the war, and that's her second husband. Her first husband died. And my cousins and second cousins are all in that area. So I've visited a couple of times. And last year I went to Philadelphia. I went to Philadelphia the first time and I wasn't that keen, but went back last year in the summer. And I think that's what it was. The difference was it was summer and it was so vibrant and such a lovely place. Really loved it. But Joanne says, my daughter had asthma when she was very young. I learned the hard way how the bits and bobs on surfaces increase the surface area available to collect dust. Big purge of surface clutter went a long way to reducing her symptoms. Seems like decluttering has multiple positive impacts. You're right, Joanne. Thank you for those words. You're absolutely right. So that's my aim, to keep her bedroom like that and support her in keeping it clean and tidy and free of clutter. Nataniki. Hello Emma, I'm from Russia. Love watching your videos. So Natanik, thank you very much for being here. I think you're my one and only Russian follower. So thank you for following me on this journey, and thank you for letting me know that you're watching and that you're enjoying the videos. Moxie Girl said that is so true about waiting for sunny days. It can be just as fun as dancing in the rain. Happy birthday to your daughter. I hope she's a wonderful day. Both my children's birthdays on Sunday. Oh, I hope you all had a lovely time. My eldest boy turns 21 and my youngest daughter turns 6. You're doing a great job. It's a never-ending battle. Oh, and it was Moxie Girl who suggested this. She put, you should start a Vinted account and link it here for things such as clothes and dressing up. Yeah, good idea. I like that idea. So for those of you that have been working really hard whilst watching this video or listening to this video, then I'm nearly at the end. And for those of you that have been relaxing, putting your feet up for a little while whilst watching the video, thank you very much, all of you, for your support. Right towards the end of the video, you will see a very short clip of a couple of places in Great Yarmouth that I mentioned earlier. So I hope you enjoy them. And don't forget that everything that I get from August and from September, I'm going to be donating to Natasha's Allergy Research Foundation. So for those of you that comment on my video, like my video, watch my video a little bit longer, go back to old videos, anything like that will all help my channel, because it's all to do with the algorithms. I don't quite understand it, but the more the videos are watched, the more they then appear in other people's feeds. So thank you very much to all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!